control is kind of a loaded word in society today. What do you think of when you hear the word mind control?
Weighing the powers that be control what I think, feel, like, kind of thing.
Nice.
So that's kind of the dark side of mind control is outside forces trying to impose their control on the individual. And so today we're going to go over a brief introduction to the light side of mind control, which is learning to control your own minds. So breaking down the concept of mind control using the 5 W's plus H, which is who, what, where, when, why, and how, went over here. We hope to arrive at an agreement of terms so we can begin to explore this topic without any misunderstanding or bias. So following the trivia method of learning, we use our minds along with our 5 senses to better understand and navigate our shared reality. So that's kind of where the intuition, I think, comes in, is the 5 senses, and we also have our minds, which is open to thought and picking up other things that aren't necessarily part of our 5 senses. And this presentation is divided into 3 parts, each focused on improving a different aspect of the mind. Included in each section are 3 daily thought exercises. These exercises are meant to be learned over 3 to 4 weeks and then become habits for the rest of our lives. So first, we're going to focus on heightening our powers of observation or awareness. Next, we'll deal with improving concentration or focus. And finally, we'll look at developing masteries over our emotions or feelings. Much of this information is from this book, Wisdom of the Mystic Masters. And there's a great quote from that book. It says, "In order to employ the power of thought, it is necessary to start from the beginning and learn to use your mind and brain in almost the same way an infant achieves control over the muscles." So the following exercises are meant to be your first experiments into the mental world. Performing them perfectly will be impossible at first. You will struggle and make errors. This is completely normal and to be expected, but keep at it. If you continue to use your will and make an effort every day, you will begin to gain more control over yourself and the world around you. And I found a great quote from Gautama Buddha, who said, "Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. But after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it." And Buddha taught observation exercises as an initial step into training the mind, and this is where we too will begin with part 1. We're going to have Odie here to read.
So I'm going to read the first exercise. So this is observation, how to develop your observational skills. And we use the trivium as a way of developing it. So you can all follow along on the page. Who? You, me, everyone. What? Becoming actively aware of our environment. When? Every waking moment of every day. Where? Everywhere you go. Why? To come to a better understanding of ourselves and the world around us. How? Well, this is where we get into the exercise. Step 1, we begin learning how to really take hold of a thought with 3 simple exercises focused on the power of observation. Number 1, when you enter a room for the first time, close your eyes for a moment and see how many objects you can name. Tables, chairs, pictures, people, and whatever else you can recall. Do this whenever you enter a room or any place new to you. So this helps you to get more in tune with your 5 senses, because we just go about our lives. You're going to be more observant. Number 2, after going up or down a flight of steps, recall how many there were. Notice that makes you more conscious, right? Number 3, in the evening before bed, recall what you did that morning after leaving the house or after eating breakfast. What did you see? What did you do? Recall about 3 to 4 minutes of this activity, no more. The next evening, recall what you did after lunch or any other 3-minute interval of your day. With daily practice, you will begin to understand the usefulness of these exercises and may even design some similar ones of your own. Do not let the obvious simplicity of these exercises fool you. They provide an essential preliminary training without which no sound mental control can be developed. And we'll work on the second part, which JL is going to read to you guys.
All right. Excuse me, I'm not always a strong reader, so I'm going to do my best. All right, so we had the who, what, when, where, why, and how. So I'll just go ahead and get to the how here. Step 2, notice how we look at 3 simple exercises which will help to hone our skills of concentration. Okay. Multiply 2 two-digit numbers. Example, 29 times 36 in your head until you are sure the answer is correct. Next, multiply 2 three-digit numbers together. Example, 243 times 189. Do this once each day with different numbers. I just been working on adding personally, but I'm keeping it real. That's it. Memorize 4 lines of a poem, long or short. Do this once a day. Number 3, when passing people anywhere, you see them only briefly and then pass out of view, select one person and look closely at their face. Then look away and hold the image of their face in your mind for a minute or more. Study its expression. Wow, it's powerful. Seek to understand its owner. These exercises differ from that of normal everyday concentration in that they are conscious and deliberate acts of will and not the automatic result of some compelling need. They should be performed once each day and, if you wish, may be done at the same time as the exercise of observation. And finally,
The last section on emotion.
One second before
Okay.
you,
Go ahead.
on part 2 here,
yeah, please.
No worries.
the multiplication part is really actually difficult. I mean, I used to be really good at math when I was a kid, and I haven't practiced or used it in a long time. We have a calculator or your phone or whatever, you can just type in whatever multiplication you need to find out, and it's just simply doing the 2-digit numbers, 29 times 36. It took me like 5 minutes just going over in my head, like trying to visualize adding the numbers together and carry the 2 here, and I mean it sounds very simple, but it was a lot difficult, a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. And for the memorizing 4 lines of a poem, you don't have to do this forever, but you want to do this for long enough till you really understand what is meant by taking hold of a thought, to really grab hold of any thought that you're trying to get hold of.
That's powerful. Yeah, thank you.
You think about
Thank
like
you for that.
an actor or actress, they have to memorize lines every day. It's like it just helps you to be more conscious of the thoughts that you're thinking by having to memorize a sequence of words. Especially if it's poetic, it's powerful. You start memorizing some poetic thoughts, then you're going to have more poetic thinking in your day-to-day life, right? So, last section on emotion. We already know the who, what, when, where. We went over those in the last one. Why? To avoid letting our emotions control us. Remember I talked about being balanced? This is where it's helped me a lot with being more in control of my emotions. I don't let anger or fear or anxiety or even being too high on happiness or too high on sadness. We want to stay a little more balanced and then you're more in control of your life with your emotions. So, the how. Finally, we offer 3 simple exercises to enable our minds to direct our lives and displace the irrational authority of our emotions. That's a good, important point, irrational authority of our emotions. Number 1, take a box of ordinary wooden matches and spill them all out on a table. Mix them thoroughly and then place them all back in the box facing the same direction. Do this once a day. Number 2, sit in a room with the TV turned on at a normal volume. Do not look at the picture, not even a quick glance. When you've succeeded in looking, then try not to hear or understand what is being said and done. Do this at least once a day until you have mastered it. Number 3, deliberately slow yourself down in relation to other people. When you walk on the street, let others pass ahead of you instead of pushing ahead of them. When driving, drive at a speed less than the legal limit. When you encounter another driver, give them the right of way. When passing through a door or entryway, let those near you go first. Do this all with a pleasant smile and a cheerful, friendly attitude. After a few weeks, you will feel like a new person. So you see how just slowing yourself down gets you more in tune with your emotions. I think that kind of cultivates your intuition, because you don't have intuition, you're constantly going around, like to go back to what you were mentioning. So emotional stimuli can either enhance or inhibit the functioning of the body, just as our physical state can have a positive or negative impact on our emotions. These exercises will help to see the difference between emotionally motivated thought and thoughtfully motivated emotion. I'll say that again. These exercises will help you see the difference between emotionally motivated thought and thoughtfully motivated emotion, and how to achieve the latter. Does that make sense, guys? Very powerful point there, because your emotions can, it's energy in motion. Whenever stuff comes at you, someone can come at you and be really emotional. Like I said, I was crying this morning because I heard about my aunt from you guys, right? It's like, how do I take that energy? I'm going to take that. I'm going to give a great speech or presentation. It's all about how you choose to apply that information, what happens. Last page of the conclusion.
All right, to wrap things up, many people let the dark side take hold of their minds, besieged by whatever thoughts and emotional states are triggered by the world around them, while others embrace the light side and seem ready for anything, able to take charge and adapt to make the best of any situation. If we want to be ready to deflect an incoming attack or grab hold of an opportunity that comes our way, we must take steps to be prepared. We learn from a young age that it is important to get physical exercise to strengthen and prepare our bodies to react quickly and appropriately when needed. But we aren't taught as children that we should also be getting exercise to strengthen and prepare our minds to react quickly and appropriately when needed. These exercises all have a specific goal to help you truly take hold of a thought. By learning to take hold of your thought, you'll gain greater mastery of your own mind, resulting in increased willpower and greater control of your emotions. Perform each of these exercises daily if you are able. They get easier the more you do them and will soon become routine. The benefits you receive from the relatively little time invested are well worth it. After only 2 or 3 weeks, you probably come up with some of your own exercises to give yourself a mental workout throughout your day. Over time, you will also begin to observe your brain at work. In other words, these exercises will help you to begin to see the difference between your 5 senses experience, or me, and your thinking mind, or I. And this will prepare you to begin exploring thought outside of your brain, to step outside of yourself and the situation in a future topic for discussion, meditation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any questions?